Good day. Thank you for tuning into this primary election candidate forum for Olympia City Council Position 2. This forum is presented by the League of Women Voters of Thurston County and TCTV. The League is a nonprofit, nonpartisan political organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens in their government. The League registers new voters, studies issues, and advocates for its positions with the legislature. Despite its name, the League is open to both men and women of voting age. I'm Allison Brooks from the League, and I will be moderating today's forum. The candidates for Olympia City Council Position 2 are Judy Barton, Jessica Bateman, and Raymond Guerra. For this forum, each candidate will have 2 minutes for an opening statement, and then I will ask a series of questions in alternating order. The first candidate will have 2 minutes to respond. The other candidates will have 1 minute. Each candidate will have 1 minute for closing statements at the end. We will begin with opening statements from the candidates. Judy, you have 2 minutes for an opening statement.
Thank you. I'm Judy Barton, and I'm running for City Council because I want to give citizens a greater voice in city decision making. I also want to improve our quality of life and our economic health by investing in parks and green spaces, safe routes to walk and bike, and well-planned improvement projects downtown and citywide. I want to set a responsible budget that protects what we've already built, sets aside funds for future challenges, and earns the confidence of voters. To this task, I bring my professional and my public experience. I've been on the city advisory committees for 5 years, including 3 years on the Planning Commission. When the city drafted its comprehensive plan, I wrote new city policies on urban green space and sea level rise. I've spent my life's career in public health, first as a nurse, and I worked for over 20 years as a nurse, including working in emergency room and critical care. I then went on to earn my master's and my doctorate, focused in epidemiology, and I've been working for the state for 15 years as an environmental health scientist and epidemiologist, looking at environmental health concerns in the community. So I want to bring that voice to my considerable environmental, public health, and community experience to city decision making.
Thank you, Judy. Appreciate it. Jessica, you have 2 minutes for an opening statement.
Hi, my name is Jessica Bateman, and I'm running for Olympia City Council Position 2. I have experience working in local government, state government, and the nonprofit sector in environmental planning and public administration. I received my undergraduate degree from the Evergreen State College in environmental studies, where I focused 6 months of my work creating a climate action plan for the city of Olympia to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. And I went on to earn my master's degree in public administration from the Evergreen State College, focusing on citizen engagement and studying how local governments facilitate citizens' decision-making in the planning process. In 2011, I bought a home in the beautiful northeast neighborhood of Olympia and have continually become more involved in our community. I serve on the board of a local nonprofit, GRUB. We help empower at-risk youth and low-income families through sustainable food systems. And we recently started helping veterans returning from the war and helping them transition back into the community. I serve on the Olympia Planning Commission, where we review code and policy to ensure that it's aligned with the goals of our community and our comprehensive plan. And as your council member, I will provide a fresh perspective focused on collaboration and effectiveness to ensure we have safe, walkable neighborhoods, beautiful public parks, and a strong local economy. It's an honor for me to serve this community, and I'm excited and eager to continue that service as your next city council member. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Raymond, 2 minutes.
Great, thank you. My name is Raymond Guerra. I'm running for position 2, and I'd like to say that I'm passionate about social justice issues, and I really want to focus on issues related to poverty and working class people. I believe that we need to recognize national issues that are happening right now and dialogue about how we can address them on a local level. A lot of cities right now are trying to implement higher minimum wage. We tried to do so in Washington. It failed, but Seattle has done it, SeaTac has done it, and a lot of other cities around the nation have done it. I think we can do it here. I think it's time we start raising the quality of life for our workers and our families, and we do so by bringing in a $15 minimum wage to Olympia and also paid safe and sick leave. It's unrealistic for people to continually go to work while they're sick or while their children are sick. It's an unequitable system, and we need to challenge that. And I think it can have also benefits to the local economy. We know that stimulus programs, when implemented, have a very positive effect on the local economy. When you put money into working class people's pockets, poor working class people, they spend it in the local economy. This can be great for the local economy. It can grow businesses. We will see more jobs. We'll also see an increased tax revenue. And then we can use that for added and robust social services, which we've been lacking on for quite a while now. We need to plan for climate change. Obviously, downtown is at risk. We need to plan for that with. We also need to plan for the influx of citizens, the new citizens coming into Olympia. We're slated to see 20,000 new residents by 2030. We need to build our city around this and prevent sprawl. We need to build dense, walkable cities that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and allow people to go carless whenever possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Okay, let's go to our questions. And our first question will go to Judy for 2 minutes. What plans do you support for the Isthmus?
So the Isthmus, I really feel that we need a public process in terms of what we develop for the Isthmus. This has been a contentious area for our community, and I think we need a robust public process to plan for the Isthmus. Hopefully that would occur in our downtown plan. So the city's in the process in the future of doing a downtown plan, and I would hope that that would include the Isthmus properties.
Thank you, Judy. Jessica, you have 1 minute, and if I need to repeat the question, please feel free to ask me.
The Isthmus property is a prime location in our community, and it is a contentious issue. There's been some controversy over what to do with that property going forward in the future. We have an incredible opportunity right now with our downtown strategy. We've just hired a consultant to create a plan for going forward. And I think that the Isthmus property is something that we need to include the public on for any plan that we want to go forward for that. It needs to be open, it needs to be transparent. We need to get feedback from the community about what they want to do with that location and move forward. And we need to make sure that there's community investment, because anything that's going to be a successful plan that arises from a conversation, we need to have investment from the community.
Raymond, 1 minute.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited about the Isthmus. I know that it's contentious, and not everyone agrees on the direction that the Isthmus should take. Some people want to preserve views, others want to develop. I think that there is a way to find common ground in the middle. We have two very beautiful, usable parks on either side. We have Heritage and then around the lake. The problem is the parking lots and the mistake by the lake that's there now. Obviously, promoting a democratic local government means that we need to have an agreement on how we see the growth of Olympia. Personally, I would like to see some mixed-use residential commercial in that area, providing new jobs, new housing, and also parking for downtown. We do need to provide more parking especially for the people working downtown. But I think that best case scenario, we keep the buildings low, not as high as what's there now, and provide new opportunities for workers and citizens.
Thank you, Raymond. Next question, Jessica. We're going to give you the first response for 2 minutes. What do you propose to fulfill the goals of a safer, cleaner, and more welcoming downtown?
We need to partner with our nonprofit community. We've got a lot of nonprofits downtown that are helping with our homeless. Sidewalk is a prime example. We need to advocate for more funding for that organization. We receive the majority of our funding for homeless issues for downtown through our county. We need to lobby them, and I'm a supporter of an interlocal agreement with our neighboring communities, Lacey and Tumwater. Because of where we're centrally located, we get a larger portion of homeless individuals in our community, and and we want to make sure that we're providing the resources for individuals to get back on their feet. I believe in housing first for individuals that are homeless, and then providing them with and connecting them with services like mental health services. The city recently had a proposal for the Holly Hotel to create 30 additional beds for permanent housing. That's a project that I support. And going forward, we, I think, need to increase our walking patrols. That's been a really effective way for increasing public safety, as well as keep continuing with our Downtown Ambassadors program. We have a new Downtown Ambassador, and she's committed to being present on the streets, walking for at least 15 hours a week, making connections, communicating with the public, and also the individuals in our downtown that have a high need for services. The majority of the calls that she gets are for assistance for mentally ill individuals, and she serves as the frontline worker for that. I support that program. And we need to continue lobbying our state government to quit cutting our services for our mentally ill, which has happened in the past couple years since the recession. And I definitely think we need to increase funding for mental health and for our permanent housing for homeless individuals.
Thank you. Judy, you have 1 minute to respond to that question. If you need me to repeat the question, that's fine.
Sure. Could you give it one more time?
Yep. What do you propose to fulfill the goals of a safer, cleaner, and more welcoming downtown?
Well, you know, our downtown and our homeless issue is a quality of life issue for the homeless and also for the people of downtown. And when I'm out doorbelling, I've been doing a lot of doorbelling. I hear about this all the time. We really need to have a regional approach which takes in our other jurisdictions, cities like Lacey and Tumwater, and then Thurston County, and then the federal and state level. I'd like to see those share some of the services and also funding for some of the services, because a lot of people because we have the city, people end up in our downtown. Additionally, we might look at some solutions like a mobile crisis team, because we have different populations downtown, such as people with mental illness. 40% of our population is under the age of 25. A daycare center so that people are off the streets during the daytime, and bathrooms.
Thank you. Raymond, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. So safety downtown is an issue. There's the perception of safety, and then there's also the real safety. Obviously, a lot of people understand that crime in Olympia is a lot lower than other cities. That doesn't mean it couldn't be lower. I think we need to care for those citizens that are housed and those that are also without housing. I think the ambassadors are a great way to address this. They've been doing great work for the last few years, and we need to step up their work and fund them to a higher level. The clean team has been keeping Olympia downtown graffiti-free and clean, providing jobs to low-income people, which is excellent. But I also think we need to increase social services. We need to have a mental health facility downtown that the homeless people can access. They need help just as much as anyone else, if not more. And if we want to talk about getting them off the street, let's talk about a day shelter. Let's give them a place to go instead of shooing them away or corralling them in different areas. Walking patrols are great to keep people safe, and I support that also.
Thank you, Raymond. And Raymond, you get to answer the next question first for 2 minutes. Are there steps the council should take to help ensure police accountability? 2 minutes.
Absolutely. And I think that other cities are leading the way. I think that there are a lot of citizen groups that are helping to lay a new foundation for police accountability. I think we all agree that policing is difficult work. I imagine I don't know personally, but I imagine it's emotionally and psychologically draining. But that's why they need even greater education and training around de-escalation practices, cultural competency training. We don't need more training to just arrest people, or what we need is for them to be a community safety force. Let me rephrase that. We need our police to care for those citizens in our community and not just be adversarial with our community. Our police have a difficult job. What we need also is a community justice review board with actually some teeth that can address any discrepancies or possible crimes within our department. Hopefully our police force would agree with this, and they would want to be held to a higher standard and not allow instances like we saw a few weeks ago to happen again. Now, it's a rare occasion, but even at the rarest of occasions, it's unacceptable. And we know at a national level, we have a problem. We have a problem with the way police address people of color and the poor, and this needs to be talked about on a much greater level. We need to talk about racism in our society, cultural biases against people of color, minorities, and the poor, and we need to address this on a local level. This is what it looks like when we talk about national problems and lead on the local level.
Thank you, Raymond. Judy, you have 1 minute. Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I think I have it. Okay, thank you. So I think there's a number of things that we could be doing. First, we should look at what other cities are doing, because we don't have to necessarily reinvent the wheel. We could look from their experiences. For example, Eugene, Oregon has a combination of a police auditor and then a citizens review board that work together. So we could look and see if that type of solution fits for us. Additionally, solutions like onboard cameras and body cameras might work. It would protect citizens and also the police when there's a question about what happened with an occurrence. And then the bottom line is are we hiring in terms of our hiring practices. If we hire policemen who are well qualified, are hard workers, and have integrity, and receive enough training, and that's training in the academy and also on the job, and then continuing education, that helps to have an effective police force.
Thank you. Jessica, 1 minute.
I believe that we should evolve our perception of from police enforcement to police being guardians of our community by focusing on transparency and accountability. I support having a police auditor, an independent police auditor with a civilian that reviews incidents of use of force. I also think that we should have increased training for implicit bias and de-escalation of violence, which we already do, but we could increase that, and also cultural competency, and have our police foster positive working relationships with individuals in our community, especially communities of color. We need to focus on moving forward and making sure that we're accountable. I think we should be purchasing and implementing body cameras to make sure that the whole process is transparent and we can make sure that our community is safe and that we want them to trust our police officers. And I think that moving forward, we can definitely do that.
Thank you. For the last question, you each get 1 minute. So let's start with Judy, and here's the last question for you. How would you say the Growth Management Act's goal of infill rather than sprawl is working in Olympia? And what, if anything, would you do to work towards that goal? 1 minute.
Well, I think it's working fairly well in Olympia. I was on the Planning Commission when we developed the comprehensive plan, and we came up with a policy called urban neighborhoods. And what we did was focus growth in 3 areas. We call them nodes. And that's downtown. We'd like to see 1/4 of our new growth go downtown, then over by the Martin Pacific Triangle, and then by the Capitol Mall area. And these are areas that would be connected to transportation, would have a lot of services such as grocery stores, cafes, bookstores, hairdressers, so people could really live in that environment and have a less car-dependent life. So they could actually live in an apartment building without a car. It would help our elderly who don't want to drive, and also our youth. So I think we have that in our comprehensive plan, and if we bring it to fruition, it will work well.
Thank you. Raymond, 1 minute. I can repeat the question if you'd like.
No, thank you. I actually, absolutely support an infill approach and preventing sprawl. We have a lot of buildings downtown. If we look at the old Griswolds, this needs to be addressed. That can be housing, that can be commercial. We need to focus our efforts on existing infrastructure, making them more accessible to the local population, and not sprawling outside. On top of greenhouse gases from increased car usage, we also need to preserve green spaces for biodiversity. We are at a turning point, a tipping point in society where we're losing anywhere between 100 to 1,000 species a year, every year. This is a problem. That's another reason why we can't be sprawling out into forests that sustain in a biodiverse environment. On top of that, we need to make life easier for the people that are living in these communities so they don't have to drive 3, 5, 7 miles just to get the necessities every day.
Thank you. Jessica, you have 1 minute.
I think that we need to increase density in our downtown. We know that according to growth projections, over 500 people will move here every year for the next 20 years. We want 25% of them to be located in our downtown core. I think we've had limited success of infill, but in our downtown, we really have a lack of housing for individuals. And we have some recent projects that have come to fruition, and they've had a high demand with the property on 123 on 4th. I support increasing housing in our downtown as well as market rate housing because we want to have a diversity of income levels in our downtown to support our local businesses. We also have our downtown strategy that's taking place right now that's going to come up with path walking forward, how we can focus on our downtown and growth there. And I also support accessory dwelling units. The tiny house movement is very big and very popular in our community, and it's a great way to promote infill. And I think we've done a good job in our comprehensive plan and our code for that. And I look forward to additional opportunities that we can increase fill opportunities in our community without contributing to sprawl.
Thank you. Well, this is coming towards the end of this program, this forum. So you each get 1 minute for a closing statement. So Raymond, let's start with you. You have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I decided to run because after years of seeing a government that doesn't adequately respond to the needs of its population, especially its most vulnerable population, and wondering why more passionate, intelligent, engaged people don't run for office, I decided to put myself in that seat. And I also, mostly because I saw the momentum around workers' rights, a renewed interest in workers' unions, the $15 minimum wage, the paid safe and sick leave, attendance bill of rights, and other issues to create a more humane way of engaging with the populace. Like I said before, I want to create a local government that supports local businesses, also puts money in the pockets of the most needy, and helps to build our society for the coming influx of citizens. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy, you have 1 minute.
So I love Olympia. Olympia is an amazing city. We have magnificent views of Puget Sound, the Olympics, and of course, Rainier and our state capitol. The spirit of the people of Olympia is incredible. They're smart and they want to be involved. And I would really like to work to amplify their voices in city decision making. I believe that they are our greatest asset. And last year, I received an award from the Washington Coalition for Open Government for taking a stand to keeping our meetings open to the public. I'm a scientist, and I really pay attention to detail, but I also can look at the big picture, and I can come up with solutions and policies that consider the effects on real people. I'm not afraid of hard work, and I would love to be your next city council member.
Thank you. Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity today. I've dedicated my personal and professional work to advocating on behalf of the public. And my work with diverse stakeholders in the community, in the nonprofit, governmental, and private sector have illustrated the necessity of working collaboratively with others, united around our common values so we can create positive change. I will bring that spirit of collaboration with me on the City Council. We have such a great community here with actively engaged citizens, with great civic values, and it's truly an honor for me to work with this community and serve this community. I am dedicated to listening, learning, and working hard on your behalf, And I am honored to have the trust of local trusted leaders such as Representatives Chris Rakedahl, Sam Hunt, Mayor Ryder of Lacey, and current City Council members from Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater. If you'd like to learn more about my campaign or get involved, please go to electjessicabateman.com.
Thank you. And thank you to our 3 candidates today. And thank you to the residents of Thurston County for joining us, joining the League of Women Voters of Thurston County. And remember, you are welcome, men and women are welcome to join the League of Women Voters of Thurston County, and we'd love to have you. And with that, again, thank you for joining us, and a big thank you for TCTV for hosting this forum. Thank you, and good day.